Hi everyone, Tania TSN here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you on my journey to start my driving school. So I can't wait, honestly. It is within my town and this is going to be Saturday and Sunday for the next 2 weekends. We're going to be in class and then we're going to be some driving. But I'm going to be bringing you to this journey and I can't wait, honestly, to start because I can't wait to drive. So I'll see you later. So here we are. Okay, so this is the break now. It's been a lot, but actually I've learned a lot already. So I guess I'm gonna do another update after at the end of the day, just to tell you how I felt about that first day. Hi everyone, so we are the next day, and honestly yesterday was a lot, but I think it was like positive, you know what I mean, like when you actually get to learn a lot. And those things, I feel like if I didn't come, I wouldn't have learned simply, and I would be way harder on my driving test because, for example, not knowing that I have to do all the gestures and stuff like that, I would have failed right away. But I'm actually happy and I can't wait to see what we're gonna do today. And of course I'm gonna give you a little update during the day probably, and then after at the end of the day. Okay, so we are now done. I actually couldn't film during the lunch break simply because it was kind of raining outside, and we are in Canada, so climate change really fast during the day, so you can have cold weather in the morning and then sunny in the afternoon and then stormy in the evening. But now simply, as you can see, it's really hot and I'm outside, so we were eating our lunch actually right now. But what I have to say is that I really enjoyed that last part of the course, especially, well, not the last part because we still have another weekend, but I really did enjoy that part because I actually got to learn things that I don't think I would have learned even if I would have just trained with my family or anything like that. Those are things like, for example, like what happens if your tire, like you don't have, just flats, and or like let's say you just have like emergency stuff on the highway or anywhere when you're driving, and those are the kind of situations where I think if you don't get that kind of courses, you wouldn't know, or you wouldn't know how to deal with when you're in that situation. So this is what I'm really happy about. I think next week we're more gonna get into knowing your car, insurance, and all of those things from what I saw in the book so far. So yeah, I'm really happy, honestly, that I took this initiative, that we took that initiative to actually get into driving school, because I really think, first I was thinking like, you know, I just need to know how to drive, but there is really more to it than just driving. You need to know the rules, but also how to deal with different situations, which I think this is why driving school really helps you in that thing. So this is where I'm gonna be ending that vlog for today. So basically in that video you would have seen my first day and my second day. Right now, basically, like I told you, I'm just done my second day and I'm really satisfied with this driving school especially. So in the description of this video I'm gonna make sure to list first of all the name of my instructor, because she's just amazing, and also the name of the school if you are in my area, or if you are in Nova Scotia. I think that they have many, not only in my town but in many towns. So yeah, I'm gonna put those links so that you can go ahead and check it out for yourself. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next week in the next video and on my next weekend, and then after that it will be actually driving, and I honestly can't wait to get to that part of driving. And today I'm gonna be showing you the second part of my driving school journey basically. And so we are the second weekend. If also today I think we're gonna do classes as well as tomorrow, and then we're gonna get to drive. So today I have my phone instead of my camera to film, so I hope that it will make it easier for me to film. Anyways, I'll see you later. Hey guys, so now we are on our breaks. This morning we actually did a little review of what we did last weekend, and then we went on and got some more things ready for basically when we're gonna get into the car. So honestly, I'm really happy about the process right now. This afternoon we're gonna watch some videos and stuff to put us more in situations of what to do and what not to do. So I think we're gonna be really ready by tomorrow to actually hop in the car, and I can't wait to do so. Now lunch break is actually almost done, so I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna come back at the end of the day to actually tell you my feel of the day. Okay, yeah, so we actually just got home, and honestly this day was a little bit long, but I guess we are starting to wrap up and really be ready for the road. And honestly this is what I've been waiting for, and I can't wait to be in the car and to actually know and get to drive and around and everything. I also wanted to add that I think that if I didn't do those classes and I didn't do a full course of driving school, I would have probably have to actually take the road test one or at least 2 times, just because I feel like there were so many things that I wasn't aware of or that I didn't know. And I don't think that with my parents, for example, or my family, which with who I would be driving, I don't think that they would teach me that. Not that they don't know it, it's just that because they're just so used to it, they won't remember to mention it, or you know, like some situations where you can't get into, and then the classes really helps you getting into that, where in those places simply where you are in situations where you wouldn't think about them, but they are actually helpful because you can be in those situations. So I really do think that this is going to help me for my road test, and honestly I can't wait to know when it is going to be, and also how am I going to do on the road. So for me, I'm gonna end this video right now, but for you, you're gonna see me again in a few seconds from now, and it's gonna be the last day of classes. Hey again, so we are the next day right now, and simply we're gonna go in, and this is our last day in class, so I can't wait to see what we're gonna do. And then of course I'm gonna give you some little updates to as what we're doing and what we're gonna do after that. Okay, so I really couldn't film the end of that day just because it was pretty quick, but we had also a lot of things to go over and to just finish. So on that last day, what we did is basically go over the in-car stuff. So like literally learning where signals is, like everything in the car, on the panel beside you, on the side of the door, everything. So everything you need to know, how to do your mirror, how to do your mirror, shoulder check, everything. So we went over all of that. We also did a little bit of review on every subject that we touched the days prior to that, and also the weekend prior, just to make sure that we were ready for the road. We also talked about garage, like who do you need to trust, for example, like to have a garagist that you really trust and that you know they're not going to overcharge you or overdo things on your car when you don't need to have things done, for example. But we also talk about insurance, where to get a car, what car you should get at first and stuff like that. So really it was really helpful on that level, where you not only get advice for your test, and it's not only focused on your test, but it's also really about your life. What is your life going to be as a driver? So right now, moving on, I actually just done my lesson 8, and I filmed a little bit of it just to show you guys, and also I had a little discussion with my instructor that I will be including in that video, so you can actually get a feel for what exactly we were talking about. And in this particular instance, we were talking about how beneficial is driving school. For example, me as a person that did not believe in driving schools, I was just thinking that, you know, I'm gonna get some driving lessons from my mom or my friends or whatever, and then I'm gonna be able to go ahead and pass my test. But it's actually not as easy as this, because I just realized that honestly, driving with your mom and friends and whoever the people you want to drive to that is not an instructor, they have habits of driving that it's just a habit, and just they won't necessarily think about teaching you that because they're not formed, or like they're not instructors basically to tell you, for example, to remember to shoulder check when you go and you turn on your right or on left and stuff like that. They're not going to be like, there's so many things in the car that you need to know that a person that has been driving for a long time won't necessarily remember to tell you because they do it automatically. So this is why basically I really think that is very beneficial, but it's also beneficial, it's not only for your test. This is what you need to know. The driving school process is not even just for you to pass this test. It's just to make sure that you're a safe driver and that basically you don't have bad habits. So right now I'm just going to be including that little discussion that I had with my instructor, and then I'm going to be wrapping up this video. So at first, right, I wasn't really believing into getting classes and doing the whole course of driving. So the only thing that I wanted to say is, really, I know now driving that I remember things from the classes. For example, that if I would be driving with my mom practicing and then going into the test like that, I wouldn't know. Yeah. But it's not saying that she doesn't know the things. It's just that basically the instructors, that's their job to actually tell us and tell us every single, like, for example, the mirror check. Like they're gonna do, my mom, let's say, would do it automatically, so she wouldn't think of telling me. But in the school, this is like those little things that you just remember and that you're gonna use on the road basically. Absolutely. And that's gonna make it way easier. So I just wanted to ask you, what do you think? What other reasons would it be beneficial for anybody to take driving school?
Well, I think it's really important, especially as new drivers, that we have some consistency with the messaging that we're getting. And very often if we're driving, let's say, whether it's with your parents or friends or other family members, whoever it might be, you will end up with different messaging every time because everyone drives differently, and their experience, they're only going to share what their experience is with you. So for example, if you lived on a farm and let's say it was your grandparent taking you out, and let's say their experience driving has really been around the farm and maybe once in a while into town, that's going to be very limited as far as what happens when you get to a large city, things like that. And vice versa. If you have someone who's only ever driven in a city and probably drives much more aggressively than somebody driving in an area like Antigonish, they're going to give you different messaging, which may not necessarily be correct. So with having a driving instructor, really for us, it's about giving you that foundation and those basics, and then you can build upon that wherever it is that you're going to need to drive. That's why we tell students that, you know, we have you in the car for 10 hours. You need to be driving at least 20 to 30 hours, if not more, outside of that prior to getting your test. You need that experience. You need to be able to experience perhaps somebody maybe cutting you off or whatever it might be, and that may not always happen when we have you in the car. So it's important from both sides. Messaging is really key. When we're teaching, we try to again, we're very consistent with our messaging because we're teaching you those basics, those foundations, and we're also doing it not from a place of emotion. And that, I think, is probably one of the most difficult parts as being a parent. I had 4 kids, took them all out, and it was, you know, much different than this environment. I didn't have a brake on my side of the car, right? So definitely your emotions are much higher as that person taking them out, as opposed to when we take you out. And plus we're trained. We know what to do in those emergency situations. We're always visually watching. And that's our job, right? And it goes back to, we're creating those strong foundational skills for you to build upon when you go out to wherever it is you're going to be driving. I think that's the biggest thing. And it's really important too, you will, if you're going out with only somebody and not getting the messaging from, let's say, a school environment like ours, there may be things that get missed, and then really bad habits get picked up. I have a lot of students who they've been driving already for a year, and when I get them in the car, we actually have to break down those bad habits and instill proper habits, like the good habits, and to make sure that they're not carrying those bad habits forward. So, and we all do it.
Yeah, so it's really not only about the test, passing the test, it's also before, after, when you drive for like forever.
Absolutely. When we're asking you to do shoulder checks, our goal, and I believe I said this in class when we were teaching, my goal as an instructor is to build that foundation. I always want you to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
If you're keeping yourself safe, you're keeping everybody around you safe. And that is the ultimate job we have as drivers.
Yeah.
Our job is not just to go from point A to point B, hop in a vehicle. That's not it at all. We have to be driving, not necessarily, I don't want to use just the word defensively, but we are driving defensively. We are always watching, right? And that those skills are definitely built up, I think, in these lessons. So
Okay. So we are now reaching the end of that vlog, and honestly I'm so happy that I actually went through driving school. Right now, being on my lesson 8, my test is coming up soon, and honestly I'm just so excited. I have a couple of things to work on still, but I'm pretty sure that I'm ready for my test right now. So this part I actually really like. I also really like the in-car session where I get a lot of tips, not only for the test like I'm saying again, but for a lifetime. So I'm really grateful that I actually went to driving school. I didn't think that at first before actually going to, but now I do believe that driving school is really the way to do before you actually get your license. And that was it for me today. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to comment anything you have if you have any questions, or if you want just any information about my driving school. They're all gonna be down below in the description box. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell of notification just so that you get notified every time that I post a new video. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, so this is just a quick update on my website. I did it again all from scratch, so I just wanted to show you a little bit what you can find on there. You can find some blog posts. Most of my videos are actually also in a blog post where you can find over here on my website, but you can also find my shop on my website where you can actually shop all my Natural Me items as well as my handmade items from the Tania TSN African fabric line, where you can find edge band, puffy bands, and queen caps. Don't hesitate to go check it out, and I hope that you will like it.